like to thank Dr. Mario Fucinari for joining us today for our talk. We've received a number of calls from members who are having some challenges with certain carriers who are rejecting claims, even though all of the modifiers seem to be appropriate and seem to be coded according to AMA CPT guidelines, and it seems like something may be missing. So Dr. Mario Fucinari and I have been talking about this, and so Dr. Fucinari, what do you think about this, or what do you know?
Well, thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me. First of all, everyone listen, this is a still evolving situation here, and depending on policies, the payer policies is going to change. So, keep in touch with ICS's, their releases, their press release, as well as if you're not already on facebook.com/AskMario, just go, make sure you do the /AskMario, like me, put me in your notifications as this or other things change, which is coming up. Change here is quick, and change is constant, right? Then you'll be on the leading edge of this, okay? Really, today's talk has to do with therapeutic modalities, which is like ultrasound, electrical therapy, and procedures, which is your rehab or trigger point therapy, whatever. Keep in mind that in our supervised modalities, the 9-7 codes, that's what we're dealing with here. And those are any type of physical therapy codes. We have supervised modalities, the 9-7 codes there, and then of course the constant attendance such as electric stim, attended, or ultrasound. Now, there are exceptions to this, and I want to point this out because, again, change is coming and we don't know when. I wish I had some type of forewarning, but if you do laser in the office, S8948 is for cold laser, but they also have now put in a 0552T. Now, the significance of that code there, some insurances are requiring this now, is that when it has a T, T stands for temporary code, which means CPT is on the way. And all this may be changing in the next year. So again, keep in mind any code starting with 97, 97035 ultrasound. 0552T is still in that realm, even the S8948. Of course, for things like rehab, you have 97110, which is the rehab that you do, and you want to show the rationale. And then for proprioception, which is the body's ability to transmit position sense, anytime you're doing rehab on proprioception or kinesthetic sense, that is 97112, neuromuscular reeducation, which that has a lot of issues as well, okay? Keep in mind that, 59 modifier is used for certain codes or the X subset modifiers. So there's so many different ones, but your payer, most payers are doing the X subset modifiers, but there's still a few that will accept the 59. And the 59 modifier says this is a distinct service, and you're basically unbundling a modifier from manipulation. The codes that always require either the 59 or the X subset, those are the 97124, 97112, and 9140. Okay.
Now, real quick, Doc, this is when they're billed on the same day as an adjustment, correct?
Correct. And what it does is it unbundles, just like the 25 modifier unbundles the exam and the manipulation, but the therapy and the manipulation, those are unbundled or unlocked by the 59 or the X subset modifiers, okay? So, as an example, you make sure that you manually split them apart. As you can see here, the XS, and look at XS, it's separate structure. But by the way, what if you have a massage therapist doing massage or trigger point therapy and the doctor is doing the manipulation? Some insurances now are accepting the XP, which is a separate practitioner, okay? It just depends. Now, we talked about modifiers in the past, and modifiers, remember, they modify or they change the meaning of a code, okay? And so your CPT modifiers provide additional information, and they could be just AT, okay? It could be letters, or it could be numbers 25, or a combination such as Q6, okay? So with Medicare, you have the GY modifier, and for therapy, you have GPGY. But then non-Medicare, this is non-Medicare, there are certain policies, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, so pay attention to those emails and newsletters, not only from the carrier, but also from the Illinois Chiropractic Society, okay? So there is a concept of, there's habilitation. And some doctors, they'll say they're familiar with rehabilitation, but not habilitation. So I want to give you two definitions here first. Habilitation is providing function that was never present. And an example of that, giving a patient, function that they never had, would be, let's say if they're born deaf. They have lost the function of hearing, but they get a cochlear implant, and now I can hear for the first time in my life. That's habilitative care. Now, chiropractors, unless you're treating Harvey Lillard, I guess, okay? But we don't typically do that. But what we do is we do rehabilitative care. Habilitative care, giving them function they never had. Rehabilitative care, restoring function they once had, but now I'm lost. Okay, amazing grace. Okay, so the key is when you are doing rehabilitative care, which is any 9-7 code, any therapy, then you use the 97 modifier. So there's the 97035 code, CPT code, which then for some insurances, you're going to get the 97 modifier, you see? And so any of the therapy codes, it's a 97 modifier. Now, right now, as it stands, and I don't see it changing anytime soon for Medicare, this does not apply to Medicare. This is our other insurances, such as, certain third-party administrator, like Anthem, Blue Cross, something like that, okay? So the key is 97, that, if your other modifiers, they're still going to be used, such as the XS or the 59, but now you may also have to put on a 97 as well, okay? So, which one goes first? Typically, the XS will go first, then the 97. If it's just ultrasound, 97035, 97. United Healthcare, which follows Medicare guidelines for eSTEM, instead of 97014, it's G0283, 97, and it might even be GP 97. Okay, I know, you're tearing your hair out here, but the bottom line is each one of these means something else, okay? GP, outpatient physical therapy. That's Medicare, but it's also United Healthcare. Okay, but then also you have the 97 modifier. I'll just start using on everybody. They're going to say this is not a valid modifier. They will tell you. But if you're having issues with that and you say all my other modifiers, you call them up and they'll say, well, your modifier usage is not correct. You go, well, what should I use? Well, we can't advise you of any billing issues. So who does? Mark and Mario, ICS, okay? They're going to help you there. So in that case there, I tell providers, why don't you just do, you know, 1 or 2 claims with the 97 modifier, see if it gets covered, and most of the time it does. Anything else you want to add to that, Mark?
No, I think you hit on it. Just as a reminder, if you're billing United Healthcare is a good example, they actually require a GP modifier on anything that is always therapy. So if it's a therapy code, they actually require the GP modifier like Medicare does. So it would be, if you're billing United Healthcare and you're having these challenges, trying to append the 97 modifiers is a great step to see if that is now a requirement under UHC, although quite candidly, we can't find it in their current guidelines.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, you know, play along with the GP first, and then if GP doesn't work, do GP 97. Typically, you're going to get it, okay? All right.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for helping us through this, and especially with this, because, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty. These are quote unquote optional codes that now some carriers are making mandatory, and hopefully this will help out many of our members. And again, thank you, Dr. Mario Fucinari, for joining us today.
And if there's any follow-up questions, either check with ICS or send me an email at doc@askmario.com, okay?
Fantastic. Thanks again for joining us today. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.